What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, shout out to the brother Zach Hankins for the donation to the channel via the Cash App and for letting me know about this, man. So I didn't even know this. I remember a couple of months ago that some jackasses defaced the mural of Kobe Bryant, the late, great Kobe Bryant, and his daughter Gianna. Of course, Kobe Bryant, NBA legend, his daughter, just 13 years old, perished in a helicopter crash back in January of 2020. And Luka Doncic, Lakers superstar, donated $5,000 to have the mural restored, only to have these animals who are quote unquote protesting under the illusion of fighting against Trump's anti-immigration policies. These animals used as an opportunity to deface the mural once again. Look, I know this is a very touchy situation. I know this is a situation where a lot of people have varying opinions. I get that. That's why I don't really want to talk about this on YouTube. But what the fuck does Kobe Bryant got to do with this? What does Kobe have to do with this? What does Gianna have to do with this? Nothing. I tell you what I think it is. The people who did this, they didn't do this because they have some issue with, Trump. It had nothing to do with that. I think there's a more insidious thing going on that we need to talk about. But I got to be careful how I speak on this. There are a lot of people in this country who, I feel like there's a lot of people who are protesting right now. They have no love for people like me and many of you. They have none. They don't like us. And that, if anything, was an opportunity to voice their disdain for us. California is dominated by the Democratic Party. I know Trump did pretty well in California last year, getting 38% of the vote, but California is majority Democratic, especially Los Angeles, right? So we can't really blame the state Republican Party for anything that's going on right now. This is strictly the Democratic Party, at least mostly in that state. So we can't blame the Republican Party for what has happened to Black Californians, why so many Black Californians have moved out of the state. Essentially, they've been ran out of their communities and their homes. They've been ran out of the city by another particular group that, to me, have been in cahoots with a certain political party to take over as the dominant non-white power in this country. Allegedly. I can't prove it, but that's my theory, and I think I have evidence to back that up. Our communities. People warned about this 30 years ago, that our communities would slowly but surely be diluted. I was going to say another word, but I don't want to be too harsh. That rhymes with diluted. Diluted and ultimately taken over by outsiders. A lot of them illegally. It's funny you have all these liberals, right? You got all these liberals that talk about how these people should come over here and they deserve opportunity. They're, they come from uh, countries that have criminality and countries that don't have the opportunities that Americans can have. Fine, I believe all of that. That's true. But why turn away the Haitians? Why turn away the darker colored races? Why can't they come over here? Why are they forced to, swim back via boat at gunpoint by, the U.S. Guard, National Guard, or state officials, as far as military? Why are they forced to turn back away? Also, to these liberals, why don't you have them coming to live in your communities? If you're so gung ho about it, it's all a plan. And many of these people, they don't have our love. They don't have our best interests at heart, man. They never have. I've been screaming about this for years. I used to be called a coon simply because I was trying to inform people that both parties are wicked. They didn't want to hear that. They were so trained to believe that these Democrats got love for you. Believe me, they don't. These black Democrats in elected office, they're just as bad as any elected black Republicans. Sometimes worse. Remember, it was the black Democratic caucus that voted for the crime bill. Matter of fact, they were very, very integral in getting that bill passed. They knew the dangers, the damage it would do to the black community. They didn't give a fuck. It was black Democratic officials in California that helped to sink any reparations bill that even seemed like it had a shot at passing in California. California of all states. The Democratic Party, oftentimes in cahoots with the Republican Party, have worked to dismantle and dilute black political power. They want us to be a permanent underclass. Now, I know this ain't touching so much on the Mural thing, but that just goes to show you the hatred that many of them have for us. That's why I don't believe in these rainbow coalitions and we got to, side with others and we need to be, fuck that. We don't have any friends in this country. None. We don't have any. Now, I'm not talking about every single person, but in general, we don't have any fucking friends. Do you see how they do us in the media? We don't have any fucking friends. Look at any black man that's accused of anything in this country. Guilty until proven innocent. Even if he is proven innocent, there's always that, asterisk attached to his name. Kobe Bryant, even to his dying day, even today, he still has an asterisk attached to his name. Even though that white girl was as pure as rotted boar carcass. What type of demon, what type of devil would graffiti over Kobe Bryant and Gianna? What was that for? What Trump? Kobe wasn't a Trump supporter. What they got to do with that? They got nothing to do with it. So when it comes to Trump and what he's trying to do with ICE and all that, I don't give a fuck. Sorry, don't. I don't like the motherfucker, but I don't give a fuck. Period. I think he's an authoritarian piece of shit. Yes. But when it comes to all these motherfuckers, and don't forget, a lot of them were supporting Trump because they thought they were exempt. They really thought that they weren't like the others. Now they want to fucking cry about it. Get out of my face, man. I don't give a shit. But I do think that this is disgusting what happened. But I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. You think that they would graffiti over Larry Bird? Anyway, that's all I got to say about it.